Okay, I continue here. I'm almost done here. Almost done. All right, one push shall run to meet another, and one messenger to meet another to show the king of Babylon is taken at one end, which I think has already happened with Saddam, being that he didn't use a phone from fear of being hit, so he used messengers to let him know. And the passages are stopped, and the reeds they have burned with fire, and the men are horrified. I think that was fulfilled during the first Gulf War, which led into the second, because we pushed from Kuwait and through those marshes and thing, went through that area, and that thing I think that's been fulfilled since 2003. All right. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, the daughter of Babylon is like a threshing floor. It is time to thresh her, yet a little while, and the time of her harvest shall come. Nebuchadrezzar, the king of Babylon, hath devoured me, hath crushed me. He hath made me an empty vessel. He hath swallowed me up like a dragon. He hath filled his belly with my delicates. He hath cast me out. I used to think that meant Kuwait, because Iraq swallowed Kuwait. Now I think it means more than that. I think it means a lot more than that. And who knows what it means now. Okay. The violence done to me and to my flesh be upon Babylon, shall the inhabitants of Zion say, and my blood upon the inhabitants of Chaldea, shall Jerusalem say. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will plead thy cause, and take vengeance for thee, and I'll dry up her land, and make her springs dry. Which has happened in the ruins of Babylon, at least. And Babylon shall become heaps, a dwelling place for dragons, an astonishment and a hissing, without an inhabitant. Now, if that's talking about Iraq in our time, it sounds nuclear. Or it could be symbolic, being that Babylon could also mean Sunni Islam, and that people are going to leave Sunni Islam once Mosul falls, because that's the last big thing of ISIS, the last part of the caliphate. Yeah. And Babylon shall become heaps, a dwelling place for dragons, an astonishment and hissing without an inhabitant. They shall roar together like lions. They shall yell like lions' whelps. In their heat I will make their feasts, and I'll make them drunken, and that they may rejoice, and sleep a perpetual sleep, and not wake, saith the Lord. I'll bring them down like lambs to the slaughter, like rams with the goats, with he-goats. How is Shishak taken? How is the praise of the whole earth surprised? How has Babylon become astonishment among the nations? The sea is come upon Babylon. She is covered with the multitude of the waves thereof. And I don't know if that means missiles fired from the Russians, and the waves are radiation. I don't know. Her cities are a desolation. Did you get that? Her cities. It's not just Babylon, it's her cities, which would be like your Mosul and your Baghdad and your Ramadi and stuff like that. Her cities are a desolation, a dry land, and a wilderness, a land wherein no man dwelleth, neither doth any son of man pass thereby. And I'll punish Bel and Babylon. And now, if this is talking about Bel and Babylon, not just Iraq, but I'll punish Bel in Islam or in the Middle East, I think that was fulfilled, because Bel was, at least the images of Bel were destroyed by ISIS. But Bel could also mean Allah, because it's like, I mean, the Muslims don't realize that Allah came out of that Bel stuff, you know. And I'll punish Bel in Babylon, and I'll bring forth out of his mouth that which he has swallowed up. Of course, during the Gulf War, I thought this meant talking about taking Kuwait out of Iraq. And the nation shall not flow together any more unto him, because right after the first Gulf War, we actually put on sanctions before the first Gulf War, and nations didn't flow to Iraq anymore, except for the little some tankers, so they could help sell a little oil for the people. Yea, the wall of Babylon shall fall. That means the defenses of Babylon shall fall. My people, go ye out to the midst thereof, and deliver every man his soul from the fierce anger of the Lord. unless you heart faint, unless your heart faint, and you fear for the rumor that should be heard in the land. A rumor shall come both 1 year, and after that, in another year, shall come a rumor, and violence in the land, ruler against ruler. So, in other words, it wasn't going to happen to the first Gulf War. Apparently not a second one. But, you know, you had a rumor of something's going to happen over there with helping the Kurds and stuff. You know, but now we actually are helping the Kurds. That's what I'm thinking this is talking about. Helping the Kurds, the people from the north, and a great nation coming down. It says, behold, the people shall come to the north, and a great nation, and many kings shall be raised up the coast of it. I'm thinking that rumor is now being fulfilled. So now it could really mean it. And we don't have to wait another 1,000,000 years. We'll see. Okay. Yeah. Unless your heart faint, and you fear for the rumor that shall be heard in the land. A rumor shall both come 1 year, and after that in another year shall come a rumor. And violence in the land, ruler against ruler. In other words, it's not just against Saddam, it's not just al-Baghdadi and stuff. It's going to be, right now, Saudi Arabia against Houthis and Yemen. You have Turkey against Assad. You have Kurds against ISIS. I mean, really, it is ruler. It seems to be ruler against ruler, which would be, yeah. Anyway, therefore, behold, the days come that will do judgment upon the graven images of Babylon, which happened to me. I think that happened just recently with ISIS destroying those images. ISIS went in there and destroyed them, and her whole land shall be confounded. And all her slain shall fall in the midst of her, which is happening now. It's not just Iraq, but in Syria and stuff like that. Then the heavens and earth and all that are therein shall sing for Babylon, and the spoilers shall come upon her from the north. And I think the north, well, it really started from the north with Putin. Putin went in there, showed a blamer how it's done, and now the Kurds are rising up from the north and coming down and kicking ISIS's upraised Sunni continuing prostration in Mosul. And to me, Babylon is not only just Iraq, it's also Sunni Islam. Then the heaven and the earth shall, for the north, yeah. Then the heaven and the earth and all that therein shall sing for Babylon, for the spoiler shall come from her from the north, saith the Lord. As Babylon hath caused the slain of Israel to fall, so at Babylon shall fall the slain of all the earth. That sounds very ominous, if you ask me. But I'm thinking that earth, the whole earth, the fall the slain of all the earth means the Haaretz. Not the whole planet, but the whole earth, the whole land, Holy Land. Ye that have escaped from the sword, go away, stand not still. Remember the Lord afar off, and let Jerusalem come into your mind. So when all hell breaks loose over there, probably from the Iranians, due to a blamer giving them the bomb and 24 days to hide stuff, go have Jerusalem come into your mind. And far off, and let Jerusalem come into your mind. We're confounded, because we have heard reproach. Shame hath covered our faces, for strangers have come into the sanctuaries of the Lord's house. Now that was probably fulfilled in the first diaspora. They went back to Jerusalem and found, strangers in the temple. But in our time, the temple is your body. Strangers, well, look up walk-ins. You'll see what I'm thinking there. Okay. Bye.